Wake up. Stop slurping your coffee.
That's how you're supposed to drink coffee.
Okay, let's just get started.
Hey,
Welcome back to the podcast.
We're here.
What's up, babe? You're drinking some Cafecito. It's 2:48 p.m.
This is when people drink coffee.
Oh, sounds so nice.
You want some? Can't have
We
any.
have decaf. I could.
You want some? Can't have any. You're pregnant.
I'm gonna drink my lemon ginger water and be healthy. Some of us actually care about our body.
Well, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is only my second cup.
Who am I? Who am I?
Don't do that.
That's
Don't
you.
do that on the mic, bro. Dang.
All right. What's up this week, babe?
We started off a little crazy there. Welcome,
16.
everybody, to the show. What's today's date?
I'm losing my mind. It is, I don't know why. I think it's just the time of year. It's December 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in a second lockdown. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. We've been home anyways.
It's like my sister says. She's like, I always send her updates, and I'm like, hey, did you see this? And she's like, well, what changed? Because I already don't do anything. She's like, I just stay at home, and she's like, I just work out from home, and I don't do anything anyway. So what changed?
Yeah. Well, so we're in this second lockdown, but I don't know if it's just because the next thing that's happening is Christmas and then New Year's. And it's just these couple of 3 weeks before Christmas, and there's just nothing happening. We've done our shopping.
I feel like around Christmas time it's always like that.
Is it though? This year just feels so boring.
Right?
There's nothing happening. I've literally been working for 4 hours a day. I'm done working at 3 p.m. and then we just have nothing to do.
Every time we work, I feel like we work till 2, or when we get Alex from school and he gets off at 1:30.
Yeah.
And we finish working, and then I look at the clock and I'm like, dude, it's only 2 p.m.
Dude, and so I'll work till 3, then we'll go take a walk, and then it's cool, so it's maybe 4. What do you do for the rest of the night? We'll make dinner, and then I forgot we're recording.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I was looking at them, talking to them.
That's so funny. No, I didn't even
That's
notice.
Funny.
Yeah, and so then it's yesterday we watched, what was that show? Undoing. The Undoing.
Hey, can I rate that really quick?
No.
In 3, 2, 1.
It was good.
Oh,
We watched it all in one evening.
Serena was guessing the whole time, what happens in the show, and literally her first guess of what she thought happened in the show happened in the show, and I was like, "Fuck this show."
It was good.
You know what show is good is actually The Flight Attendant.
Flight Attendant's
Just
really
random
good.
talk here.
But here's what I'm saying is dude, we've been watching so much TV, it's ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, we banged
what else
through
is
hours
there
of
to
TV.
do?
We also watched Queen's Gambit.
I've even been doing courses and fun stuff, and I don't know.
It's been interesting.
So anyways, I'm just curious. I posted that on Instagram today to see if anyone else felt the same, cabin fever, just you're losing your mind. I'm about to start coaching people for free. I'm just does anyone want to do a coaching call? Let's fucking do something.
Don't say it because people are going to reach out.
I was thinking of doing something fun, a group coach. I don't know. That's how bored I am that I'm I'd rather just do something.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot more time in the day, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. But what's on your agenda, babe?
Well, first of all, we skipped through our actual most important thing here is Audible. Just kidding. So if you're listening, the Audible trial, audibletrial.com/Cafecito JJ Sarina.
It's in the description.
It's in the description as always.
I set a goal to finish 2 books this month.
Which ones?
The Alchemist, which I have 2 hours left on Audible, and Super Attractor by Gabby Bernstein. A little bit of a spiritual book on manifestation, but I have 3 hours left in that one too. I'm halfway through both. I'm gonna be done. Goal.
Get your
check.
books.
I'm that type of goal setter. I get halfway down with my goals and I'm like, oh, that's already done. Moving on.
But that's not really finishing.
Setting a new goal.
You didn't really finish
No,
it.
because it's already done. I'm about to finish it. It's already declared. It's happening.
I also want to point out that we didn't plan to wear Dragon Ball Z shirts. I swear to God, I got dressed before Serena and she put on the one Dragon Ball Z shirt she has on.
I have 2.
So if you're watching this, you could see that we're both wearing Dragon Ball Z shirts.
He copied me.
Got dressed first.
Yeah. What else is on your agenda?
So how's your pregnancy going, babe?
Dude, it's a roller coaster. Every day is a roller. Actually woke up yesterday with a pounding headache, dealt with it all day, didn't take Tylenol.
Wow.
And then today woke up with a pounding headache and I was like, fuck that. And I took 2 Tylenols and then I had a good day. It's
right
going
now,
really good.
So far?
Yeah.
It went away?
I am starting to get tired. I think after we record this podcast, I'll work for like 30 more minutes and then I'm going to call it a day.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a call though this evening with a client. A closeout call, yeah. So,
I'm really into my coffee right now. It's really good.
So, yeah, but it's good. It's good. I don't know. I just want to relax a lot, which sounds so contradicting to what I just said at the beginning of this podcast.
You were bored.
I'm like bored, but I also want to relax.
That was like the other day on, I think it was Saturday. It was Sunday. What did we do Saturday?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Nothing.
I think it was Sunday. It was after 10 a.m., so I had already watched football. I was kind of over it. And then I just sat there and I was like, babe, I'm bored.
Jerome doesn't know how to just relax.
This is coming off the night before where he
Jerome
had just
doesn't know how
watched
to Netflix and chill.
fucking 10 hours of TV. And Netflix and chill, for your information, means Netflix and then have sex. Which we didn't do, guys. So fuck me.
First of all, but really,
So I don't like to Netflix and chill.
This last weekend, it was raining. It was like so nice to just like lay down and watch TV and just do nothing and just be. But no, on Sunday, Jerome starts getting grumpy and taking it out on me.
I didn't get mad. I was bored, bro.
He was like so bored.
I wouldn't
He was
even like we can't even go on a walk because it was fucking pouring outside.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even breathe in some nice fresh air.
But then he's like, let's go to the store. Let's go to the bookstore. Let's go to the baby store. And then he's like, maybe we shouldn't because of COVID. And then I'm just like, okay. And I was like, yeah, no, like let's just stay, like not really paying attention to him. And then he goes from like desperately wanting to do anything to like, I'm mad now because you don't want to do anything. And I was like, oh, my bad. I didn't know it was so serious.
I think I settled with, I'm just going to finish cleaning what I had to clean.
He goes, I'm just going to do the dishes.
Old man style. I'm going to do the front yard.
I was like, well, that's not fun because I was trying to like relax with you. So now if you're going to get
But like I said, this is coming off like a 10-hour TV binge the night before. I was so bored.
You don't know how to just be.
And Serena like, it was because you didn't go work out today.
Literally, the one day Jerome doesn't work out, he loses his damn mind. Your rest day. And you know what we did on Saturday? We woke up at 9. We watched a movie as a family together till 11. You went to the gym at 12, came home at almost 3. By the time you took a shower and got dressed, we made dinner and it was the end of the day. So normally your whole bulk of the day goes to the gym.
Sorry.
So this day you didn't go to the gym, you lost your damn mind. Just go to the gym. Dang.
Well, I have to rest, honey.
Making me angry.
Well, I have to rest.
Anyways, so
that's what happened anyway. So it was a slow weekend. You know what we did see that was kind of fun was we actually looked at Christmas lights at houses like in a nice street.
It was nice.
It was pretty cool. You see all the people like really decked out their houses and their front yards with cool signs and nice lights.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Well, I think it's like looking at Christmas lights is always fun, but this year it was more fun because you're like so bored and COVID and like it brought like, at least to me, it brought like a lot of happiness.
People in Florida are like, what are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
It brought a lot of happiness. It felt really good. I was even telling some clients, I'm like, if you guys, actually I had other clients telling me that they've been like having like these same feelings and with their partners it's just been like a lot of like chaotic energy in the house. Like one person's bored, one person's this. And
December 21st.
Stepping on each other's toes. And I was like, dude, go look at Christmas lights together. Like hop in the car, bring some coffees or go get a coffee and go.
If you're not driving, get some booze.
Well, but you are driving. I mean,
that's illegal. I'm just kidding.
Doesn't make any sense.
I was joking.
Do I live in Vegas?
I don't know. I was joking.
If you live in Vegas.
Yeah, if you live in Vegas, open container. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. Anyways, I remember that and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That was it.
Next.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jerome is in control of the podcast agenda.
I'm not in control. You can say whatever you want.
But I keep having to stop talking and then saying, okay, what's next? Keep it going. You gotta flow, baby. You gotta let it flow.
I'm gonna just say
you gotta keep it going.
Anyways, you have to go so fast. Relax. You're making me sweat. Anyways.
Anything else to say?
No, I was gonna say, if you're still listening, today is December 16th, which means, babe.
What does it mean?
It's our fake anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
It's a big topic.
Today's the day 8 years ago where Jerome and I first hit it off at our Christmas party.
8 years ago, babe.
8 years ago. Happy 8 years.
Cue the sentimental music.
Cheers. Ding.
Boom. To 8 years.
Cheers to that. Yeah, 8 years. We don't celebrate this anniversary at all, though.
It's because you messed it up, honey.
Okay, well.
It's a long story for another day, guys.
All right. It's actually in the first podcast episode.
If you guys listen to the first podcast episode, you'll understand why this is a fake anniversary. So if you want to go back and listen to that one, if you're just tuning in through the video.
First of all, this is when we hit it off. We didn't start dating at this time.
Some would say it was dating.
Some would say that doesn't make any sense.
Some would say we were dating.
Do you want to have this conversation? Or do you not want to have this conversation?
I mean, you could, like I said, go back and listen to the first podcast. If you heard it, listen to it again.
It was the first time we hung out together.
Yeah.
We weren't exclusive.
At that time.
Yeah.
But technically, all right, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Anyways, we're already bickering, so let us bring us to the next topic of the podcast, which is the main topic.
This is how we bicker. This is great. I wish.
So the other day, Alex, he plays on the Switch a lot. And he has... Why are you laughing? And he has the charger for the Switch. It's like a little USB-C cord.
Wait, hold on. I have to just rewind. That's my rewinding voice. On last week's podcast episode, this kind of came up, and we were talking about this moment where we recently had this argument, and it turned out to be, I guess, kind of a big argument, but not really. It was definitely a moment for.
We also don't argue.
People.
We also don't argue a lot, and especially with things about Alex. So it's kind of rare when it does come up.
Yeah, we'll talk through it. But I thought it was interesting as we were on the pod. I can't even talk on the podcast last week. Oh, I dropped my essential oils.
I'll get it.
I realized I was like, oh, this is a good conversation to have. And if we really want to go there, there's a lot of different ways we could talk about this, which we actually haven't talked about this since. We just knew we were going to talk about it on the podcast today. So now explain what happened, Jerome.
Okay, so first, like I was saying, Alex plays on the Switch a lot. So the Switch comes with a base where you stick it in and it charges. We have that in our living room, correct? Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
But it's not plugged in.
It's not plugged in because the way our Christmas tree is set up, the Switch got taken out and it's just not plugged in. But I didn't think it was a big deal because we never play on it with using the big TV and anything, so the base doesn't really matter.
So Alex doesn't need to use the base to charge the Switch because he has a cord.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a problem. It's never a problem. But Mr. Alexander, he always breaks his charger cords, because he doesn't take care of them. Okay. I even bought him a little thing that they have nowadays because people just rip the cords off. Even adults break their iPhone chargers because they
Have I broke one?
Oh, you've broken a lot.
That's so cute. But keep going.
Okay, cool. So even adults break their chargers because they just rip them off. You're supposed to grab them from the base and pull it off.
Okay.
Anyways, I digress.
Okay.
So then I bought Alex a thing because I told him, Alex, if you break this charger again, because this was his third or fourth one, I told him, if you break it again, Alex, I'm not buying you another one.
How much was the last charger you bought him?
I don't have the receipts.
So
okay,
this is where
Objection.
we're gonna
Objection.
we're just gonna walk through this. This is where the first point is Alex kept pointing out, yes, he broke his charger, obviously.
Okay, so he did break his charger, and I also, because it wasn't a very expensive charger, first of all, Alex shouldn't even be saying what's expensive and what's not. He doesn't even understand the real value of money.
It's not about the value of money. He understands that we bought him a charger at 7-Eleven.
It wasn't.
Okay?
It was at Walmart.
Okay, woohoo! It was a $3 charger, and he kept saying, Jerome, the charger was cheap.
Which is why I bought him the little thing to protect it.
No, I hear you, but I think a big part of this argument that we're going to get into with you guys, because it goes a lot deeper, is I agreed with Alex on that one statement of Jerome, but I break the chargers because they're super cheap. Can you get me a nice charger and I won't break it?
You break them.
But Jerome doesn't. And I also see Jerome's point. He needs to learn how to take care of his things. Okay, keep going.
Anyways, so I told him, Alex, if you break this charger, this is the last one I'm buying you. I'm not getting you anything else. And so that's what I told him a couple months ago. Anyways, fast forward to like 2 weeks ago. He has a charger and he's like, Jerome, it doesn't work. I can't charge it. Like, I'm plugging it everywhere. It doesn't work. And he's like, I put it in the base and it didn't work. And I was like, well, Alex, because of Christmas, I unplugged the base. I didn't think you would need it because you have your charger. So the base is like, it's not working. And the way like our TV set up is like pushed against the wall with like a big, what's it called? TV stand. Mm-hmm. So anyways, so I'm like, I'm not going to move everything because I have to rearrange a lot of stuff to pull the charger out in the base just because you broke your charger. So now I told him, I said, sorry, Alex. Why are you laughing? Well, so I told him, I said, sorry, Alex, but I'm not buying you another charger and I'm also not removing the one that's in the living room. So you understand to take care of your chargers next time. So basically he can't put on the switch. Yeah. So like for like 2 days, he's like floating around our house like a weirdo because he doesn't know what to do. He's like walking around.
But it was a daily. So here's the thing. I would say for the most part, don't pay attention to like little conversations you guys have a lot of the times. Like I'm working or doing stuff or whatever, and just let you guys have your conversations. And so it was like 3 days where I was like kind of hearing like these conversations of switch and charger. No.
So Alex will just like play on the switch and just disappear sometimes.
Like right now, we let him play and then we record. And so so after like 3 days, it started getting annoying, and I was like, what is going on? But Jerome, in this instant, and we'll explain this more in a second, but Jerome will get frustrated, but instead of getting frustrated and vocalizing things to me, he gets frustrated, feels defeated already before anything even happens. Hold on. He sits down on the couch and just goes silent. And I'm like, Jerome, Alex wants to play on the Switch. I don't, like, what's what? Like, can't he just use the base? The charging base? And Jerome's like, no. And I said, why not? He doesn't answer me.
Okay, go back. Wait. Go back to yesterday.
But I wasn't listening. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You had that conversation with Alex, not with me.
She wasn't listening, guys.
But you weren't talking to me.
Well, honey, you were. I was.
So he was
and you know
talking
what you were doing? You were like this. I'm actually, if you're not watching, I'm doing this. I'm scrolling through my phone.
Yeah, working on my phone.
You are working, dude. It was like 9 o'clock at night. We were watching TV.
Are we still having this argument?
Maybe.
Yeah, even if it was 9 o'clock at night, I was not paying attention to you because you were not speaking to me.
I looked at you in the face like this.
That's great. So you looked at me. So you were looking at me in the face like that, and I was like this.
I literally sat down. I was eating. No, you were facing the TV.
Anyways, my point is, clearly he didn't get a response from me, so I wasn't. He was trying to maybe have a serious conversation.
I said, babe, do you hear him? I told him he can't have his charger. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, so big miscommunication number one. I didn't have a conversation with Jerome about this. So after 3 days, I'm like, this is super annoying. Jerome, just let him use the base. Why can't he use the base? And so Jerome is like, because, and then I'm like, but like literally just oh my gosh, he doesn't have a charger. He wants to play on the Switch. It's like annoying to just plug the base in. And Jerome's like, no, because the Christmas tree and the TV stand and you got to pull it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying if you don't want to do it, because I thought it was just like an inconvenience, like Jerome he just didn't want to do it. And so I was like, fine. So I pulled out the base super quick, took me like 1 minute, and I moved it and I plugged it in somewhere else. And I was like, oh my god, wow, problem solved, guys. Here I was thinking I'm just solving a problem. Jerome, that's where you just like went to the room and like just shut down, didn't talk or whatever. But my point is, I didn't realize Jerome, on the other hand, was trying to teach Alex a lesson. It was so much bigger.
For the last 3 days.
But I wasn't paying attention. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't realize Jerome was like, no, I'm trying to teach him a lesson. He broke his charger, so now he doesn't get one. But in that moment when I was directly communicating and saying, Jerome, why can't he use the base? Jerome just shut down and said, I don't care, whatever.
I'm uncomfortable.
If he would have just said, because Sarina, I'm trying to teach him a lesson, he shouldn't get a charger now. But he already felt defeated. Now, that's where I feel like the real story of this argument comes from.
Oh my gosh. What's the real story?
It's the truth, babe? Because we're talking on the surface level, but people
need my comfort. I'm fixing my hat for no reason. It's not even sunny in here.
I hope you guys are watching this. But people have these arguments. I just posted on my story today. It's like when you respond, make sure you're responding to the direct situation and not shit and trauma or situations and anger from the past. And this is a prime example of us still having very simple arguments, but they're rooted in a lot of things from the past.
Okay.
So, my point is, I didn't realize, so Jerome like shut down and did his, he hates when I say this, but he's totally in his child ego.
Oh my God, it's so, we're literally in the middle of an argument and I'm saying something and Sarina, Jerome, you're literally in your child ego state. Oh my gosh, you're in your child ego state. I'm not even gonna respond.
Okay, but if you know me, you know I don't talk like that.
That's how you sounded.
But I tell
you said,
him,
Jerome, you're so in your child ego state right now. I'm not even responding.
I said this, Jerome, you're so in your child ego state. That's my voice when I argue.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, fuck this, dude. I was like, I'm in child ego state.
So Jerome gets...
And you're like, you're doing it. You're doing it right now.
So your child ego state, if you guys don't know, is the way that you handled situations as you were a child. So like if you're arguing as a child, the way you got your needs met or your voice heard.
That's not how I argued when I was a child.
You shut down. You were very quiet and silent. Oh, no, you weren't.
You're making that
Come
up.
on, babe. I'm trying to explain this to people seriously.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
So your adult ego is when you can respond. As the mature adult, you can vocalize, you can use nonviolent communication, you can communicate, you can direct and ask for what you need, what your needs are, as a mature, knowledgeable person that you are. And so, and it was funny in this conversation, I was like, you know, Jerome kept like shutting down or like doing little mocking things. I don't know. But then I was like, Jerome, I was talking like this, okay? I was like, Jerome, you're in your child ego state right now, and if like that's how you're gonna talk, then we don't need to have this conversation. And he literally responds and goes, stop acting like you're up there. And I'm thinking, and in my mind I'm like, I'm not acting like I'm up there, I'm just genuinely up there. And
oh my God.
like I'm up there in this conversation. I'm like genuinely totally fine.
I'm annoyed.
So I was doing
I'm already annoyed.
Amazing. And Jerome, me being in my adult ego state was just triggering Jerome. He was like, fuck this. It's almost like, and this actually does happen in arguments, subconsciously we sometimes, when the other person is not giving us like their old self, like they're not matching our energy.
I don't think I wanted your old self,
you don't do
but
that
I
on
wanted you to
purpose.
acknowledge what I was saying, and I felt like you hadn't understood it.
Even though multiple times in the conversation I was like, okay, explain it to me, communicate with me, say it. Okay, cool, yes, let's do that. Just tell me what your reasoning is, and then I will tell you if I agree. And if you,
well, it felt like a trap. And I was like, you know what?
He wasn't ready for this new style
I'm not
of
falling for her
communication.
trap. I'm sticking to my guns.
So my point is to realize, is the other person like even in a mature state of mind where they can have a conversation, like mature, like genuine conversation with you? If they're not, there's really no point in having a conversation. So we like paused a couple times. But anyways, and then I told them later, I said, you know, you need to even go deeper with this. This is just another thing that has always been in our relationship because we came together as two people and I had a child. And so Jerome had to step in that role. Well, Alex was like 9 months old.
Almost one.
And so we had to grow together and you had to grow into your role.
But I'd always have like this underlying like belief that Sarina would always like protect Alex in a way. Mm-hmm. Even when he does something bad, like I'd always say like Alex could kill somebody and Sarina would take his, like stuff like, I don't know, like an example, but like I'd always have like
we just talked about that last night in the show.
From the show.
I was like, okay, your kid gets arrested and you know he killed someone, but you have the chance to cover for him or you turn him in. What do you do?
Sarina would cover for him, guys.
No, I would not.
No, but I always had like this like underlying thing that's like Sarina like would always take over like power in when it comes to disciplining Alex in a way. Like I always feel like you, like I always felt like you were more leveraged. Like I don't know, because Alex is your child in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always felt like that underlying, like not.
Like you didn't have any power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like loss of power, like no power. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's still, it's so deeply rooted. I think it's still there, and it's one of those things where I'm just trying to make you feel.
But also, I feel like people don't. Sorry to cut you off, but also I don't feel like people understand how like how strong you could be sometimes. Like very like strong and like when you're like trying to like make points and stuff, so you like very much
I think they get it. No,
kind of like take the control away.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I do feel like I get defeated and I'm like, well, fuck it all then.
I think a lot of people, you're either a person who can use your words and like present the facts of the situation or you're not.
Yeah.
And Jerome is not that person. He like wants to explain himself and he's frustrated, but what he does is shuts down, versus I want to explain myself and I'm frustrated and I'm clear and I'm direct and I'm vocal and I'm very like, here you go, like this is exactly why, this is what I have to say, this is why I'm saying it, here are the facts, and this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, something that we can both work on. And so I think like in this situation, it was triggering this like almost like kind of a, I don't want to say it's a wound of yours, but maybe a little bit of like an insecurity. And I feel like if you are, I do not like calling you a step parent. That actually is irritating to me. But if you come into like a blended family in a way, or that sort of nature, I think anyone could relate to this, right? There's so much that goes into like me making sure that you feel as equal balance as a parent, which you should.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And sometimes you don't. And so like in this situation, even though it was just over a Switch charger, very surface level, it was so much more than that. It was, Jerome was trying to teach a lesson. I undermined him big time. I genuinely didn't realize that. So then it was like,
which
hey,
you apologize for.
Yeah, well, no, we'll talk about that. So I genuinely didn't realize that. At the same time, Jerome was being triggered in a much deeper way, because he was like, here we go again. Like, Sarina, what am I, like the dinosaur in Rugrats? Like, just walking through. He's like, Sarina just came in and like swooped in and saved the day, or like took over, and he just shut down. So
I think I called you a helicopter mom once and you got very upset at me.
I don't know.
We were having like the same type of argument. I'm like, helicopter mom Serena comes and saves the day for Alex.
Not even close. Dude, you were on one. So, but from there, I think, and you know, what I determined with Jerome is I said, you know, when these situations come up, we have never, sometimes it's as simple as literally taking the time to say, hey, this is how we're going to handle these situations going forward.
Well, it's so easy because, like, especially me, like, after like 3 to 5 minutes of arguing and then like we're done, like I get over it, and then like you're kind of over it, and it's so easy to just leave it as is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have arguments and they get over it and then you leave it.
Yeah.
And then guess what happens next time even one little thing happens? It's like, yeah, and you remember last time?
Yeah.
Because you guys didn't work through anything. You just kind of like let it go, which makes it worse. It's like a ticking bomb.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess that one for me was like a big issue because, like you said, it feels like when you have like our family dynamic, it's a little different in a way that you always feel like you're trying to, like, I guess maybe if you want to go even deeper, like you're always trying to like prove something. I don't know if it's like to you or to Alex or to anybody else, like the society.
Just your role in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to just like almost overcompensate, which is maybe why I'm like too mean to Alex sometimes, maybe. I don't know, but it just like
disciplinary.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe I try to step in too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so, and no, I agree with you, like, in terms of, like, you could go so much deeper and just, like, the roles in general. But I literally just was like, Jerome, and of course in the middle of our argument, I was telling him this, and so he wasn't receiving it very well. He wasn't ready. I was just telling him, I was like, well, we've never actually talked about this. In the moments when we disagree, so here's the thing, we're two humans, we're gonna come together, and we are not always going to agree. Jerome's gonna wanna parent our kids one way, and I'm gonna say, I actually disagree with that decision, I think we should do it this way.
We're also very different, too.
We can be. Yeah. We can be, and we can come together a lot of ways. I think it's a matter of a conversation a lot of times. And so, but the problem is what usually happens is, let's say a disagreement comes up, and in that moment, Jerome will make a decision, like for example, and say, Alex, okay, cool, no more chargers, and like lay down the law, and then I'm over there in my mind, like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, in my mind, Alex is like, well, Jerome, the charger was $3 and it broke, and I'm over there thinking in my mind, I'm like, that makes complete sense to me. Like, the charger broke, why don't he just use the base? Let's just eliminate, don't buy him any more chargers, only use the base, like, problem solved. So my mind is like, not agreeing with Jerome, and what we'll do in that moment is like talk about it, and we shouldn't be having that conversation in front of Alex.
We didn't though.
No, but like we will in times, like we'll like have the conversation, and
up.
that divides us in front of your kids.
We've done that before.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, when these things come up with our kids, because now you have to think even future, right? It's like, it's as simple as saying like, okay, like your dad and I or your mom and I need to talk about it. Like we'll decide and let you know.
It's also irritating because Alex always takes Serena's side.
Oh my God, mama's boy?
Yeah.
You're having another boy, honey.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. But yeah, and so I think what we determined is and I can't wait to test this out next time. It's like when something happens, it's like, hey, why don't we talk about that and we'll let you know, meaning Alex, when we decide, and we'll go from there. And then we have to be able, that's where our nonviolent communication comes in and our ego states is, okay, then when the moment comes, have the conversation. And it's not an argument. Like, just because you disagree with me or I disagree with you on this matter, it doesn't mean I'm undermining you or I'm like slashing your power or like you're not the dad or I'm not the mom, or like a lot of times it's such an ego thing when you're parenting and you're like, it like kind of can hurt you a little bit. Like it feels deeper than it really, I'm like talking about a charger here, right? Like not that serious, but you have to be able to sit and have a conversation and just say, okay, like here's the situation. I think this, you think this. And like you could have still explained it to me and I could say, I don't 100% agree with that. This is what I think. And then maybe we have to meet in the middle, right? Yeah. Maybe there is no like black or white. Maybe it's like that gray area.
I guess that's where it would be difficult if it was like what I said, and then you just completely disagreed with it.
Which is what happened. I didn't understand the whole idea that you were doing, so I was like, I don't get this. What is the big deal? And then when I realized, so like for example here, when Jerome explained it to me and was like, did you not hear me tell him like no more chargers, like teaching him I literally didn't hear any of that.
Alex will also ask me and then ask you or vice versa.
Yeah, he did.
Which is kind of conniving.
Which is what most kids do and is not okay.
Yeah.
But once Jerome explained it to me, I was like, okay, no, like, wow, I didn't know. I just like totally undermined you, like in that moment, just like totally slashed all of your authority. And I didn't know that. So then I went and took the charger back and told Alex if he wants a charger, he has to buy one out of he has money that my grandma gives him like every so often.
And also money that he saves over
he like saves
his
it.
birthdays and Christmas and stuff.
So I told him, if you want to buy a nice charger, I think it was like almost $20. I was like, you have to use your money and we'll order you a charger, but like it's your responsibility.
It's gonna be funny when that one breaks too.
Well, that's his problem. And so we took the charger base back and the problem was solved and Jerome got over it and it was just the whole thing.
That was...
But do you see how deep a simple little argument can go and what it's triggering and how much deeper? Because a lot of times it's just like I'm saying, you weren't responding to me in that moment. You were responding to like 8 years of like what the fuck and like why can't I call the shot here? Like what the hell? I keep cussing and we're on YouTube.
Okay, I forgot about that.
So yeah, I think hopefully that's helpful to other people and kind of just sharing with you something that came up and communication through it and being able to identify in the moment.
I guess I was gonna say it's as simple as that. Like it's crazy how much one thing turned into such a big thing.
Yeah.
And we both at least I got pretty upset.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
I think it's like that level of I was like on Pinterest just like scrolling and you were so upset. I think though, like having a conversation like this, if you don't realize other people's triggers or have that level of like self-awareness or understanding of the mind, I guess, in a way, it's easy for these conversations to happen and it just you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Right? So even just hearing this, hopefully it like plants a seed in your mind and the next time something's happening, maybe you don't fully understand or can't kind of like, I love kind of like dissecting and understanding everything. Like in my mind, as soon as one of us responds, I'm like, oh, this is happening. I see it, Jerome gets mad.
Watches the undoing one.
But at at least for you, like that'll start to happen and you'll start to register it. It'll just help you in your relationships, communication.
That's what I had written here, how to communicate.
Yeah, how to communicate.
It's funny, the other day we were so bored, we started playing random questioning games. Me and Serena always play questioning games with each other. We don't play board games or trivia games. We play questioning games.
They're like, I bought one called Love Languages.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw that one on TikTok.
I called them talking games, and actually I told the client about this and she didn't even know they existed.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you're bored and you're at home and it's COVID, you can play these with your family.
Shout out to my brother-in-law, because he brought in the first talking game we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, like Hooga or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, he brought that one year to like a New Year's Eve or like a Christmas Eve, and it's pretty cool. We actually played it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it just brings up, you just like draw a card, and it just has like thought-provoking questions that you could just discuss with your family. But it's kind of entertaining because it'll ask cool shit.
It's interesting.
Serena's favorites. Yeah.
It actually is my favorites, but it's interesting because as you play, it allows you to get to know your family members more. Because
it's more than just like surface level questions.
Yeah.
So it'll ask you like if you can live, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll ask you surface level questions, but it'll also ask you some deep questions. And if like you're not a super deep type of person, you also don't have to get that serious with it, right?
Yeah, you can have fun with it too.
Like it's like, what is your worst memory from childhood? And you can be like, dude, I peed my pants once. You don't have to be like, oh my god. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck guys, here we go. Like, but also they have relationship only ones. So like Love Languages is only for a relationship, a couple. Yeah. And we were playing that one, and that one was really fun.
Well, I brought that up because one of them was like, what's the main like what's the question? It was like what makes a relationship successful? And then you're like, the number one thing that makes a relationship successful, and then you said...
Yeah, I said communication.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I was like testing out Jerome, and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, trust.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, well, you can have trust, but if you can't communicate with each other, you're not going to go very far. If you can communicate with each other, you should have trust, right? Because you're fully communicating.
Yeah.
And he was like, I take my answer back. Communication.
It changed it.
I'm telling you, I think like learning about communication and understanding it and being able to teach it to other people is like one of the best things that I've ever done.
It's like there's two languages, like we're speaking English, but there's like another language in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, even like more than that is like learning that like there's multiple different like languages, so to speak, and you have to learn, like you have a different language than I do, and Alex has a different one, and then like, you know, someone else has a different one. Like, can I talk to each of you?
Exactly.
Right? So you need to learn how to like adapt to the person you're speaking to. And that's some next level communication.
I'm trilingual.
That's on the next episode. All right, you guys. Is that everything?
That was everything I had.
That's perfect.
Unless you have something to say.
No, I would love anyone's comments or feedback. If you guys have anything specific that you want to hear, message us or comment, leave us a review, let us know what's up. And I think that's everything.
Yep. Make sure you try the Audible trial. And yeah. I think it's like, how many days till Christmas? 7? 10 days?
9.
9 days,
yeah,
guys. Make sure
9 days till Christmas.
Make sure you get your family some
we'll have
presents.
one more podcast up before Christmas.
Yeah. We'll call it the Christmas one.
The Christmas special.
Yep.
And then a New Year's one. Ooh.
Ooh, that's probably Serena's favorite.
New Year's. I think New Year's is like my favorite holiday
New
now.
one?
Yeah.
We'll
Thanksgiving
talk
and
about
New
it.
Year's.
We'll talk about it.
All right, you guys. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Peace.